the discussion we're going to have is on programming as the hidden layer. So I'm not sure what's going to come out first. Well, it'll be the written piece. So there's a written piece to this, and then we'll do the
Hmm.
video. So I'm
Hmm.
just going to share, I'm going to share this so you can see this is scheduled to get posted, and we're kind of looking at this. So you see programming as the hidden layer. So for people that are familiar with the neural network of absolute strength, there's an input layer, a hidden layer, and an output layer. And so what we've done here is we've kind of put point A and point B on here. So point A and then point B, and then you can see that programming is the hidden layer.
Yeah. So I think maybe we should describe that while it's up there, maybe describe that a little bit
Okay, you
uh,
go
in
for it.
in terms in terms of why we have point A, point B, and maybe relate that to the neural network. So there is, I mean, we do have an article on the neural network and those layers. There is a pretty detailed lecture within the art of programming learning module that we have on the neural network. But let's just sort of summarize that, fairly quickly. The input layer to the neural network is, think about it as like all the information that the network should know to process that information and then eventually make an output. So for us at Absolute, that is point A. Point A is all the information that we need to have access to help us make the best decisions regarding that particular athlete and where they currently are, both in their program and their training for high performance. So makes sense that that would ultimately be point A. So point A equals input layer. If we were looking at this, as a grand picture of how we influence the neural network. And so if we want to make decisions on how we influence the neural network and the behaviors of the neural network, we have to have information. We have to have as much information as we possibly can, and we get that at point A. The hidden layers, because there's often multiple of them of the neural network, is the the processing of that information and ultimately the decision making that, and I'm using obviously that in quotations, the decision making of the neural network, how the neural network creates boundaries and constraints and takes that all that information and turns it into a decision that ultimately then relates to a particular output. So programming in and of itself is exactly that. It is, how do we take this information and then how do we understand where this athlete is? How do we understand where this athlete should be? And how do we make decisions that fill in the gaps for us to ultimately have that athlete at what we would determine to be point B? So again, looking at it, from a 10,000-foot view, programming is the hidden layer. So we are as programmers the hidden layers for the neural network in and of itself, in that we are making the decisions that constrain training.
Hmm.